Hey guys, what's going on? It's Devin here, and welcome to the final Call of Duty Ghosts SnD class setup video. This one's going to be primarily for singles. I don't really play much else anymore. I pretty much just play singles nowadays, but if I were to play TL or dubs, I would pretty much just stick with the same classes, but I'll show you guys what I'm running. We got about 9 days till AW, and I'm looking forward to it. I'll make another video pretty soon talking about basically my plans with AW, what I plan on accomplishing and doing throughout the life cycle of that game. So here we go. Let's jump into this class setup video. So starting off right here, the Overkill Sniper class, and basically take note of the placement of this. I have this at the very top of my class, just because when you're spawning in a game, you can class switch easier. Because when you double tap A, when you tap A once on the start screen, it automatically always goes to the top. So it won't it'll always go to the top, like your selection. So if you want to quick switch to a class, which my favorite class to switch to is a sniper, I have this as my top class. So here we go. We got a USR. I like to have chrome line. Armor piercing, you don't even need that, but I prefer to have my USR as my primary weapon, just simply because I'll usually sprint out with, like, my Vector, for example. I'll sprint out with this. I'll class switch to this, and I don't have time to switch weapons to my my sniper, so I just like having it as my primary. If you prefer a thermal, basically just take off the armor piercing, put a thermal on. I don't really like the thermal as much. I like this a lot more for what I use it for. And then I got the Vector. I have grip. You can put muzzle brake on instead if you like, but I just usually stick with the grip. Agility and marathon. I like marathon way more. Some people like agility more. I definitely prefer marathon, especially for what I use my sniper for, for sprinting stuff. And then here are my specialists. Agility is the first thing, which just helps. For my second class, we have the Remington. This one I've switched up a bit. I like to use the grip. I think grip's more useful, but if you like the muzzle brake definitely works out too. So whatever you like. And then I personally like having pistol, nade, and basically a fast AR class. And I usually sprint out with my pistol, and I can sprint around the map with my pistol, and then I switch to my AR whenever I need it. The only negative about this class is you don't have quick draw. So if you'd like, you can go ahead and take off the pistol, take off agility, and put on quick draw. But I do have quick draw as my first specialist perk, but this is what I like using right now. And sometimes I do prefer the quick draw AR too, but I've noticed that I'm just better off with this class. And then my primary Vector class, this is just a Vector rushing class with, steady aim, agility, marathon, all that good stuff. And this is my Vector with a nade class, and basically it's the same exact class, except I don't have steady aim, and I have a Semtax and stun instead. And here's my Vector tac mask class. Again, same exact class, except instead of steady aim, I have the tac mask on. And this is my suppressor class. I would suggest that everybody has a suppressor class, because especially in singles, this class is so useful. I use it so often. I'll use it on Freight when I'm trying to break the gate to go underground, and I'll mainly use it on Warhawk when I'm breaking the gate to cross mid-map, and it actually works out really, really well. So I would definitely have a suppressor class if you do use strats like breaking the gate and stuff, which I do suggest you do use. It is quite useful, but basically same perks as I do in my primary Vector class, except I just have a suppressor on. And here is I don't really use this in singles at all, but I'll use this maybe sometimes in dubs or TL. And basically this is my Vector with smoke and incog. I don't have a regular smoke class. I just like having incog, just because I find, if I'm going to be smoking stuff, I'm going to want to have incog on top of that. And again, I do have my marathon as well. I would suggest you have agility on your main specialist, but I haven't really touched that class in a long time. Here's my shoddy class. I would say everybody should have a shoddy. I really haven't done much with this class at all, but it's definitely useful. I don't know why I don't really use it too much, but I like for 1v1s on Sovereign, this class actually can work out really well if you know how to use it. I've seen some pretty good players in singles use a shotgun, and I actually do have agility, not marathon. And the reason I have agility on this class is just because usually when I'm not really running around too much with the shotgun. I'm usually I'll plant the bomb, and let's say I'm sitting in green room on Sovereign, I'll just go back and forth, and I don't really have to worry about sprinting for a long period of time. It's more of a concern of me sprinting out of an area fast. Like if I see him on one side, I want to sprint out the other side with agility. And it's just generally easier. I have to have steady aim on just because you're using a shotgun, and sometimes you're not going to have time to ADS, and you're just going to hip fire them. And then I also love having a stun nade as well on top of that, just because if they if you see them, you obviously you have a shotgun, you don't have much range, so it's really helpful if you can get a stun nade kill on them easily. I have that. I have this class. I'm not sure why I named it Vu, but anyway, it's basically same thing as my Vector. Same exact class as my Vector, except it's just an MTAR. I don't really ever use this class, but if I'm ever in the mood to use like an MTAR, maybe on Octane or something, I would be using this class right here. And then my final class, which I have on the bottom for a reason, just because it's easier to class switch to. I have these in order to class switch. Like I have my Remington second just because it's closest to the top, and then obviously you can just click, go up one to go to the bottom, and it will class switch to this. This I have the Remington with thermal on it, and it's the same exact class as this one, except I just have a thermal on it. And I use this for watching A-Cross on Warhawk and stuff like that. Like certain spots you kind of need a thermal for, so I'll whip out this class, and it's the same exact class as my other one. And you need a thermal. And if you're gonna be watching A-Cross with this on Warhawk, you have to have a Jody Marathon and pistol. So don't even bother with quick draw. If you prefer to have quick draw on your AR, I would suggest you go with this kind of perk loadout and then switch up this one right here. So those are my perks, my classes, guys, for Call of Duty Ghosts, and these are most likely the classes I'll be ending with come near the end of the game here. I'll be talking more about AW in another video I'll be uploading very soon, so look out for that, guys. That's all for this one. I hope you guys enjoy. Leave a like if you did, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.